to order. If we could have a roll call, please.
Murray. Abel. Here. Montgomery. Morris.
Here.
Blackburn. Here. Chair Box. Vice Chair Brown.
Here. We have a quorum. So at this time, we have a consent agenda for business. Are there any questions on the consent agenda? Any items that you would like to discuss or pull? If I could get a motion then on the consent agenda?
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. If we could take a vote, please.
Abel.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Blackburn.
Yes.
Vice Chair Brown.
Yes. All right, a motion to approve the consent agenda is passed, and we will not need item 2. Item 3 is a shared parking and economic development agreement between the City of Jenks, Jenks Aquarium Authority, and Inspiration Hall, LLC. And who will be presenting that? Marseille.
Good evening, Vice Chair Brown and members of the trustees of the, every single time I've practiced too, of the Jenks Aquarium Authority. Thank you for letting me speak this evening. We are to the finish line, I think, on one parcel on the aquarium campus. This parcel is north of the existing property that has our Jenks, the Oklahoma Aquarium, and it is south of the Holiday Inn. And in 1921, the council approved resolution number 741, incentivizing economic development at 200 South Aquarium Drive. And I just want to read this because I think it's really important. The language for that was, the incentive was to develop an appropriate use that was complementary to the aquarium and would benefit the city by increasing sales tax and jobs and draw visitors to the aquarium and support the continued development of the city's riverfront as a dining and entertainment destination. In 2022, this property was deeded to Inspiration Hall, LLC, and it was for the purpose of building a food hall along with entertainment and recreation amenities. So, what we have before you this evening, and I'm going to, if you don't mind, talk about number 4, 5, and 6 as one project, and it will take individual votes, but we'll talk about it as one whole. So what we're looking at is an approval of the adjusted parking. So within the city of Jenks, when a lot or a piece of property is developed, it has certain criteria that it has to meet with the zoning code or the Unified Development Ordinance. And one of those things is you have to provide X number of spaces unless you're in the downtown core. And for this particular use, there were X number of spaces that needed to be provided. And due to the size of the lot and the configuration of the actual building, it did not allow for a full development of the parking. So we have spent, I would say, some time talking about parking and had some meetings talking about parking. And right now, what we have before you, I'm going to go to, let me see if I can find a good page to look at. I always feel like I give you all so much information, and then I look and I'm like, well, that would have been good to include. So I think if Brandon, could you please go to page 98 of the packet? So in general, this is, are you rotating it or we're just, okay, perfect, thank you. So on the far right is the Arkansas River, and then the green with the gray box in the middle is what we would call the Jenks Market Project. And there's a lot across the street that you can see a patch of green with all of these little lines, and that is where they are proposing to do the bulk of their parking. And this requires a lease between the food hall and the OAF. and that's why you all are seeing it this evening. And then there's additional parking potentially further south. So the white box with some parking in it is the employee parking. So this project requires them, in addition to building parking across the street, it requires them to put in a fence and a gated access right along, kind of where the sidewalk is essentially, that would protect the employee parking for the aquarium. And then if it is found to be necessary, then additional parking would be built on the, what we call the triangular piece, which is west of that. So this is conceptual, and I just want to say that it may say, we'll just say for simplicity's sake, 100 spaces. But by the time you take into consideration the actual toe of the levee, the power lines, et cetera, it'll be somewhere in there. So we'll get very, very close. And we had this on the city council agenda 2 weeks ago. We pulled it because we did not have all the documents signed. So this evening, the city council will also hear this, and they will approve the planned unit development, which came to us first, I think, in 2022. And we did not adopt it by ordinance. So tonight, the city council, if they find it to be favorable, they will adopt it by ordinance. And then they will also bless the economic development agreement, is that on there? Actually, I may be wrong. You all are looking at the economic development agreement, the 2 parking lot leases. And then there was one other item which was required in the private covenants of the plat, which requires the OAF and the JAA to say, we're okay with the architectural style. It's not what we set out 30 years ago in the specific use permit, but we like it and we're willing to let it move forward as presented. So those are all the documents in front of you. They have almost all the signatures, but the good news is the only signatures missing are people in the room. So we can grab those signatures before this meeting is over. The city attorney has let me know that the very last one takes a supermajority. And if we don't have a supermajority here this evening. So you can make a motion of support and vote on that motion of support so that it can come back to the same body. Would we do it on the 30th? We could. Okay. So possibly on the 30th, but we would, we don't have a supermajority tonight, and that lease does require a supermajority. So with that being, we need 6 present for that. So with that being said, do you have any questions for me? I know, exclamation point. Yeah, this is going to be very exciting, and I think it'll be a great stimulus for the river and for everything around the aquarium. Okay, that's
When
it.
you're talking about the supermajority, are we talking about item 5 on the agenda?
6. Oh, item 6, I believe. I don't have the agenda in front of me.
Yeah, we don't have an item 6.
Oh, sorry. So it is 5.
It is 5, the lease agreement. Okay, very good.
Don't I have 3? Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Is the no. It's the long piece.
To the northwest.
Yes, the big one. Yep. All the parking.
Okay, are there any questions from the authority? No questions? Can I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
That would be for item 3, shared parking and economic development.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can we have a vote, please?
Abel.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Blackburn.
Yes.
Vice Chair Brown.
Yes. And then on item 4, the Aquarium Campus Architectural Agreement, be a separate item.
Motion to approve.
Second it.
We have a motion and a second. On the vote, please.
Abel.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Blackburn.
Yes.
Vice Chair Brown.
Yes. All right, item 3 and 4 approved, and I guess we will motion to continue. Motion to support. Continue with support, thank you, appreciate that. We need a motion to continue with support.
Motion to continue with support.
And a second.
We have a motion and a second. On the vote, please.
Abel.
Yes.
Morse.
Yes.
Blackburn.
Yes.
Vice Chair Brown.
Yes. And do we have a staff report?
Thank you, Vice Chair and trustees. I worked hard on that one. Okay, so obviously Kenny's not here, so I'm standing in for him, and hopefully any questions you have, I'll be able to answer for you. So start with the aquarium's attendance and revenue have slipped as of June and July with about a 6 to 8% drop. However, that is nationwide, where everybody is seeing that same trend, and we meet with our gift shop, the company that runs our gift shop, and they said they're seeing it across the board. And I also will say I've talked to people at the zoo that I know, and they've been down 20%. So makes us feel a little bit better. So the events that we've had and are coming up, Sharklahoma, of course, all of July, and the events went really well. Most of them were sold out. Kind of odd because we couldn't do Boomfest because of the situation with the fireworks company, and Sharks in the Park was canceled due to the storms. Our out-of-state dive with the bull sharks was a big hit again. Contest winners were from Plano, Texas, and in-state winner was from Tulsa, and the proceeds from entering that contest will actually bring about 500 students to the aquarium at no cost, so that's exciting for me. Let's see, we're trying a new event this year, and it's actually tonight, called STEM-tember. And it's sponsored by Community Care, which is kind of exciting. They haven't sponsored a whole lot, so I was really glad for that. This public event will be tonight from 6:30 to 8:30 and focuses on education in the sciences. We will be hosting educators and students from all levels. There will be a panelist of teachers and organizations answering questions about STEM and youth involvement in the sciences. Some of our guest speakers include ODWC, OSU Health, and teachers from across the region. We will be celebrating Tulsa Tourism's 918 Day by having a volunteer cleanup for the section of the river along the grounds on the aquarium. 918 Day is a celebration of the Tulsa metro area and is geared towards community pride and engagement, and this will be on September 18th. We plan to try, this is completely different, very new. We're planning to try a daytime Hollow Marine event on the weekend of the 17th and the 18th, just because looking at numbers and where we're not seeing a return, and then when we are seeing it. So we're trying something different to see if maybe doing the daytime events will bring more people in than some of those midweek nighttime events. So this will ensure more vendor participation and give vendors or visitors an opportunity who prefer a daytime outing. The weekend of the 24th, as well as Halloween Day, will not change. That will still be our evening Hollow Marine. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to see how that goes. Projects in construction, the efforts are underway for the Shark Research Center. The team is currently prepping the large concrete tanks for waterproofing. This is a very tedious project, and it should be completed by October, which after that, then waterproofing can begin, and that's also a tedious process, so it's a lot. The carpet and admin's common floor spaces have been replaced with it says tiles here, but it's the laminate. We'll be purchasing enough extra to complete the office spaces next year. So that was a nice little tidy up in the office space. The leak in the living coral tank appears to have been fixed using an ingenious method developed by the staff. So we did not have to drain the tank nor close the exhibit. Along those lines, one other thing that I would add is we're putting in the new artificial coral into Polynesian Reef because of the leaching and yeah, exactly. And that's been very difficult because we can't take the fish out, we can't drain the tank. So you're putting these new pieces in with epoxy, and every time the water moves, it's moving it ever so slightly. So the exhibits team came up with a solution of using special screws to screw them into, on either side, into the substrate. So that should make it go a lot faster and make it a lot sturdier. So I think that's all I got.
Was that the method that dealt with the lake? When it
No.
says ingenious, that
I know,
just
right?
bears.
I think everything those guys do is ingenious, but that's just me. I'm biased. So that was totally, so the Polynesian reef is the artificial coral, so that's what I was talking about drilling in. The coral, the live coral tank is what they were talking about, and I'm not sure what that method was, to be honest with you. Maybe something similar to what they did in Shark, where it's, I don't know exactly how to explain it. Kenny does it much better, but it fills in gaps in the epoxy. So I don't know if that might have been the way they did that.
And as it relates to the overall receipts and attendance at the aquarium, I think we mentioned 6 to 8% down year over year. Our use tax, which is only things that, like from Amazon that are delivered to citizens within Jenks, and then also construction materials, that is down 2.5% the first 3 months of this fiscal year. And just this month, compared to the same month last year, we're down about 8% in use tax. And so where sales tax takes in folks coming from all over the Tulsa metro area and Oklahoma, and because we have obviously 80 new stores, we see a big increase in our sales tax. But I think consumer spending wise, there has been a slowdown, and we noticed it at the end of the last fiscal year, which would have been April, May, June, where there was a slowdown in use tax year over year. And so I think this is something that obviously you brought up the zoo and other attractions like this, but I think that consumer spending is starting to slow down. And we see this going back over the last decade. There's times where the aquarium, year over year for certain time periods, whether it's July and August, whether it's during the October, November, or especially during spring break, we may have times where our revenue year over year is down, but then for whatever reason, another time period that's busy during the year makes up for it, because it's like people decide not to come during a certain period of the year and then end up coming later. So we're hopeful that this is just a blip during this fiscal year, and that we'll see increases year over year later. So
Hopefully we'll see that staycation
Yeah.
folks coming. So, and I did forget to mention, I'm sorry, memberships are up.
Yeah.
So even
Yeah,
though
that's-
we're down revenue-wise in attendance, memberships are up.
I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
So Trick or Treat on Main Street this year is now Trick or Treat on the Riverwalk.
Okay.
Is there an easy option to help transport people from the Riverwalk to Aquarium, since we have Hallow Marine that night too? Just to make it easier for people to commingle the events?
So we've talked about that quite a bit over the years, having some sort of a trolley or transport between the two.
But we don't currently have anything.
Yeah, we don't have anything in
place.
place at this point. So, but it would be great if they can park once and go. And I think that's,
Is there a trolley rental company that you could rent maybe for the day?
The extended golf carts from Southways even.
That's a good idea. I don't know who would run it.
I'll drive a golf cart. I think that'd be fun, personally.
How about you?
Just those events being closer together
Yeah.
now could be easier,
Yeah. And
mutually beneficial.
we now have a Jenks tourism group that is meeting I think every month, or every 2 weeks or every month. I can't quite remember. And so there's lots more discussion about things like that. So I think that we'll start seeing some movement of working collaboratively with Riverwalk. Yeah.
Maybe we can
Yeah.
get a hayride from the Riverwalk.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
And we're also, as a part of the low water dam project, we do have federal funds to build the trail, basically in partnership with the city of Tulsa and NCOG, from Turkey Mountain all the way along the river, south of the aquarium to the outlet mall. And so within the next 5 years, there will be a trail connecting. So it may not be a vehicular trolley, but people can walk.
Definite
between the two,
connection.
so.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'm very excited about that. And that way we can also talk about riparian zones. I should also say we've met with Up With Bees. And so we're going to start looking at putting in apiaries adjacent to the pollinator garden. So we're pretty excited about that.
Very good. All right, thank you for that
Thank
report.
you. Yeah, no problem.
Any other business? Any other reports? If not, we stand adjourned at 5:23. I'm the vice mayor. I'll be chairing the meeting tonight, and it is 6:01 PM, September 16th. I'd like to call the Jenks City Council meeting to order. Could we have a roll call, please?
Short,
Here.
Emmons,
Here.
OJ, Abel,
Here.
Murray, Mayor Bucks, Vice Mayor Brown.
Here. We have a quorum. At this time, we would like to invite Piper up for invocation this evening. Piper, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm in 10th grade and I'm 15.
15, okay, very good. Would you all stand with us?
Okay, can everybody please bow their heads and close their eyes? Heavenly
Standing, and Piper, don't run off because I've got a greeting from the mayor for you. We'll have the pledge at this time. Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Let me read this. Mayor Box left a greeting for you. Get down here to this. Piper, I'm sorry I could not be here tonight to greet you and hear your prayer. I want you to know that you're a very courageous young woman, and I'm inspired by your enthusiasm and zeal for God. Thank you for blessing us with your prayers this evening, and please accept the mayor's challenge coin as a token of my appreciation and respect. So the mayor left a challenge coin. If you would come forward. I'll come around there. The challenge coin is a custom that, based on history, goes back to World War I, where there was a lieutenant that had struck these coins for everyone in his unit, and he handed them out, and it turned out that there was a pilot that happened to get shot down behind enemy lines, and the Germans stripped him of all of his identification. Well, he managed to escape, and because he still had that challenge coin, they thought he was going to be a spy and he was going to be shot, but when he produced the challenge coin, they recognized that he was part of the unit. So this has been a tradition that's been passed down by the military, now it's been picked up, and it's a representation of excellence. And Mayor Box wanted you to know this is not a representation of him, but of the mayor's office. And there's a limited number of these that have been struck, so please accept this on behalf of the mayor. Thank you. Blessings to you. In light of the events of this past week, seeing young people like Piper step up with their faith and courage and set the example among their peers is a very positive thing. So there is still hope for our nation. Thank you, Piper. All right, we have an animal welfare spotlight this evening.
We have available in our shelter right now, and the 4 cats, hopefully soon to be 2. The you guys don't know, we're actually going to be out at Woodstock this weekend at Riverwalk from 8 to 2, if I remember correctly, 10 to 2 Saturday morning. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have several dogs out for adoption. We're hoping to clear the shelter. So tell your friends, share it on our social media. Just spread the word because our goal is to empty out the shelter this year.
They're cute. Should they turn around for the people at home to get a good view of those? Oh, we got them on both sides, okay. Yeah, hold them up really good. Linda, are you looking at this? Thank you for that.
We appreciate your time.
They're not named yet, or are they? Oh, yeah, Tweedledee and I got it. Yeah, I'm Tweedle forgetful.
Because their mom is named Alice.
Okay, very good.
Yes. So,
Thank you for that. Please reach out if you're interested in a new family member. And while they're exiting, let me just say this to our residents. Please make sure that your animals have collars and tags and get them chipped. I know that we call out PD when we have strays, and they always check to see if they're chipped, and most of the time they are not. And that's one way that we can make sure that animals are reunited with their families. All right, at this time, we will open the floor for citizen comments. And let me just say this, we are going to pull up a timer. Our citizen comments are limited to 3 minutes, and there'll be things that are not on the agenda. And anything that you bring tonight will be information for us, things that we may need to know as a council. So this is an opportunity to do that, but I will hold you to 3 minutes. So are there any comments from the community? Any citizens this evening? Got the timer ready?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Catherine Lenhart, 777 West 106th Street South. All right, let's see who's here. On the eve of the State of the City address, I'd like to thank each of you for your service. Public office is demanding. The success of any city council is measured not only in vision, but in execution, trust, and citizen engagement. Words are only as strong as actions that follow them, and the measure of a city council's success is accountability. Tomorrow is a chance to celebrate our city's progress, and there's indeed much to celebrate. A true state of the city is more than just announcement, ceremony, or appealing to certain groups. Speeches alone don't make a city stronger, actions do. And the real test of leadership is not measured by how inspiring the message sounds, it's measured by how decisions are carried out, how well taxpayer dollars are stewarded, and most importantly, how much citizens trust in their government. When outcomes don't match promises, residents notice. Like when development is pushed forward without transparency, or like when the emergency clause becomes standard practice, or when public records are withheld, it weakens the very foundation of our government. Finally, the brazenness being practiced by some members of the City Council and staff must come from a belief that they are backed by the legal system. But I ask you, does hiding behind legal shields absolve you of your ethical responsibility? We, the residents, are ready to celebrate genuine successes with you. We want to see this council and this city succeed. We urge you to prove that commitment you have made with every vote you cast, every record you release, and every decision you make. If this council truly wants to succeed, then let your actions match your words, because that is the true state of the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry to cut in. I was just told that someone left a key fob next to the water dispenser. I'm assuming vehicle key fob. Yes. So, do you know what type of vehicle? Okay. Well. Dispatch? Okay. Dispatch. Yeah. So if you're missing your key fob, go to dispatch.
Are there any other citizen comments this evening? Anyone else? Third call. All right, hearing none, we'll move on with the regular order of business. We have a consent agenda before you this evening. I would like to pull item D for discussion. Is there any other items that anyone would like to discuss? If not, if we can have a motion.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented, except item D.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can we have a vote, please?
Short.
Yes.
Emmons.
Yes.
Abel.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes. All right, moving on to item number 2, consideration of appropriate actions removed. And I would like to hear a presentation on item D. I had some questions about it.
Thank you, Vice Mayor and Council. This is a pleasure to be here this evening with you all. This is a preliminary final plat. So because it's one lot, one block, we often move those as preliminary and final. So the address or the general area is West K Place, and it's an area that in the comprehensive plan originally, it had a little bit of everything. It had single-family residential, it had industrial, it had apartments, and this was an existing lot that had 2 office warehouse buildings. And we approved the original, they came back with a PUD, and we approved that in 2020. And so they have 5 years to get going, and here we are, ding, 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 at the finish line, 5 years later. And they've got their preliminary plat here. It's 1.25 acres. The uses are basically the exact same as they've always done. This project will come with additional landscaping. It'll be a much more attractive project. The engineering staff has their plans in front of them already. They are well aware of the 2 detention, I don't know if they're ponds, the 2 detention areas that are there and that will be replaced with a building. So the engineering was originally, and when I say approved, in 2020, it basically, you present, the city engineer at that time was Chris Robinson, and say, hey, this is what we're thinking. They did some initial looks. I would not say any kind of deep calculations. And it was basically said, yeah, I think you can do that. You'll need to go here and here. And then Chris Cloyd came along. We've had these conversations back and forth for 5 years. And he also took a general look at it and said, yeah, I agree with Chris Robinson. And the engineer of record is engineered by design. And they do have a representative here, Mr. Ryan McCarty is here with Select Design. So if you have any he is not the engineer of record, but he has been developing this project from day one, and he can answer any additional questions. But I will say our staff is very sensitive to the request to remove those 2 detention facilities, so.
Thank you, Marcy. And that was my question, was the detention facilities there. And they may have actually been in before we replaced the storm sewers on K Place. So the storm sewers, has that resolved any need for those detention facilities, in your opinion?
Very likely.
Okay. I can't say that I've seen standing water in those detention ponds, but I wanted to see, what the analysis was on that, since it's a final plat. So
Sure.
maybe just a brief feedback from the applicant on that.
Okay. Mr. McCarty?
Ryan McCarty, P.O. Box 548, Bixby, Oklahoma. So again, like Marseille said, we've had a couple different engineers look at it. The project's died because of COVID. It pretty much killed it. So they've got everything back in order. So as far as engineering goes, we've followed what we thought we need to do. It's in review right now. We don't have a final answer on that yet. So detention ponds may have to stay. I mean, until we get the final answer on that.
So we're waiting on final engineering and hydrology then? Okay. So will any approval then be subject to that? Yes? Not for the plat. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Were there any other questions for this applicant? Could we have a motion on this particular item?
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. And could we have a vote, please?
Short,
Yes.
Emmons,
Yes.
Abel,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes. Okay, that would be item 2 from D that's been approved. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a brief adjournment for an executive session to address a matter of legal nature. where the public disclosure of it would potentially damage the decisions coming out of it.
Yeah, you
make-
need to
We
vote.
do need a vote for that.
Make a motion to enter into executive session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to enter into executive session. All in
Short.
favor?
Yes.
Emmons?
Yes.
Abel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown?
Yes. We will be back shortly. The time is 7:22, and we will recommence with our meeting. No votes were taken in the executive session. Coming out, we have an item on the agenda. It is, let's see, where are we at? It's going to be item number 4, which was a resolution of the City of Jenks, Oklahoma, resolution number 883 regarding a settlement. Were there any questions on this particular item from the council? No questions? Can we get a motion?
Make a motion to approve the resolution as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to pass resolution number 883 as presented. Can we take a vote, please?
Short,
Yes.
Emmons,
Yes.
Abel,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes. Item number 4 passes. Moving on to item number 5, ordinance 1673 related to JZ 25698.
Thank you, Vice Mayor and Council. This is item number 5 and subsequently number 6. This general area is south of Main Street at 5th and Aquarium Place, and the request is a rezoning from RS3 to RM3. The Planning Commission heard this item and voted to approve it. It is straight zoning, so this is a little bit different than what you all are used to. So we talk a lot about all the mini codes, right, when we have a planned unit development. But when it's straight zoning, it's just a matter of this meets the comprehensive plan. They have a desire to build a townhome project, and it'd be about, I think what they can fit based on the density is about 30 units. The current, it is the southeast corner of 5th and Aquarium, and we knew all the way back to 2020 that this was potentially going to be requested, and so the comprehensive plan was indicative of that at that time. I will remind you all, I was not here for any of that, but that is the story that I am told. If you look on page 2 of 5, it shows you what the standards are for an RM3. And then it shows you the use tables, and then there are some additional standards, use-specific standards. If you look on page 200, which is 4 of 5 for the staff report, it shows you the little yellow box, the general location there. This area is kind of mixed also. You have some commercial heavy that is vacant. You have commercial heavy that's active. You have downtown core. You have office light. You have multifamily. You have commercial shopping. And you have RS3. So all of those areas north and south of Main Street, there's a lot of mix within that half mile north and half mile south of different uses. The last thing is on page 201 or page 5 of 5. This is showing the comprehensive plan. That little brown set of squares with or rectangles with the yellow dotted line represents the area that we're talking about, and that is a multifamily residential. Staff and Planning Commission recommend approval of this request. And that is all I have to say. Do you have any questions for me?
Any members of council with questions on this item? All right, should we go to the applicant or to the public?
That is your choice.
Let's, are there any questions from the citizens on this particular item? All right, hearing none, does the applicant wish to address the council? State your name and address for the record, please.
Dwayne Phillips, Oak Properties, 1177 West 106th Street in Jenks, Oklahoma. Thank you, Vice Mayor and Council, for listening to this request. So the 555 aquarium apartments will be built on Aquarium Place between 5th and 6th, very similar to the apartments that we built between Second and Third behind Bank First there, that City Council several years ago approved. I've got some pictures just to give you an idea of what this looks a little better. So this is the site standing on the northwest corner, looking southeast across the site. It's a vacant lot right now. Most of this land was bought in 2011. I acquired the last 50 by 100 foot, the eastern piece, about in May of this year. And the reason I bought that last 50-foot piece so I can put amenities on there, because 222 Aquarium doesn't have any amenities. And so this will have amenities on the east side, which will be in the shade for it'll be a dog park, a child's play area, and a workout space. There'll be 25 apartments. We're going to spend about $8.5 million on this project. The carriage home, basically what happens is on the first floor, you'll have a two-car garage, living space, kitchen, bathroom. Second floor will be either a 2 or 3 bedroom unit. There'll be 7 2-bedroom units. They're roughly 1,877 square feet apiece with a 477 square foot garage. There's 4 3-bedrooms, the same square footage. There's 14 1-bedrooms, with one of them being ADA, and those are 1,088 square feet. And again, we'll have the workout play area and the dog park on the eastern side. There is a conceptual plan I have is this one here. Although it shows parking, Aquarium Place is on the top. I know that it shows parking spots there. What that is, that's the driveway into the garages. So along Aquarium Place, there won't be any cars that are visible. And we may put 2 cars on the far east end, so that makes the workout area accessible to park there. Some conceptual drawings. At the Planning Commission, there were a couple couples that were concerned about the way the project looked. They wanted to fit into the neighborhood better. And so we've taken off some of the brick and put in on a wood product, so it kind of matches with the neighborhood a little bit better. We anticipate rents to be around $1.77. So for the 2 and 3 bedrooms, they'll be in the low 3,000, 31 and 3,200 in the 1 bedrooms. Will be about $1,900 a piece. Currently, that vacant land, which is 31,000 square feet, generates $4,100 a year in ad valorem taxes. Once these are built and completed and sold, I think they'll generate somewhere around $140,000 a year in ad valorem taxes, an increase of 3,400% on these projects. The 222 apartments are 97% occupied. There's 1 studio that's available, and so also there's a lot of people wanting to come into town, want their kids to go to the Jenks Public Schools, plus everybody that's working at Simon Malls and need a place to stay. 25 units. That's all I have. If you guys have any questions.
Did anyone have any questions for the applicant? All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
We'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to pass ordinance 1673 as written.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. If we could take a vote, please.
Short,
Yes.
Emmons,
Yes.
Abel,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes. We do not have the necessary number for emergency clause, so we'll strike item 6. And moving on to item number 7, shared parking economic agreement between City of Jenks, Jenks Aquarium Authority, and Inspiration Hall, LLC.
Okay. I think I hear celebration music in the background, even as I speak. So this item is for the food hall. And we have been talking about this. We've had several on the agenda tonight that have been rumbling around for a couple of years. So this was originally approved in 2021. And, well, the resolution 741 was approved. And I want to read the language of that resolution. A portion of it says, this property is to be developed with an appropriate use complementary to the aquarium, and it would benefit the city by increasing sales tax and jobs and draw visitors to the aquarium and support the continued development of the city's riverfront as a dining and entertainment destination. And this developer group has nailed it. They've worked tirelessly and to get this project to you all tonight. When you originally approved it, we had some conditions, and one of those conditions was parking, and that has really been a challenge, but they've gotten that solved. And we have a couple of items that you will need to approve. And so this is item 7, 8, and I think 9 will be the emergency clause, which we won't be able to approve this evening. But I'm going to go through, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the PUD. The PUD is extremely restrictive. It's for food uses. And well, we can look at it. Eating and drinking, it's one floor, up to 10 restaurant concepts with potentially one sit-down restaurant and accessory entertainment uses. So the entertainment uses would be inside, outside, and if you look on page, let's go all the way. If you look on page 218, this is where the legal documents begin. So the first legal document is the second amended economic development agreement. So this has to be amended because of some deadlines that needed to be adjusted. So that's part of the conversation. There is a lease for parking, and that's found on page 236. And this is between the OAF and Inspiration Hall. And they are leasing property, and I think we can find, that is on page 243. We'll show you the exhibit that kind of shows you. So the location of this project is north of Oklahoma Aquarium and south of the Holiday Inn. Oops, that was very upside down. There we go. Thanks, Brandon. And in their agreement, they have leased that property across the street and to the north of Aquarium Place. So they have to work with the PSO, and they also have to work with the Corps of Engineers because of the toe of the levee. This parcel has other easements, so it really is an ideal place for additional parking. It's very restricted in what could be built. It would be a tiny footprint if anything were ever built there. And it shows the green, so this is conceptual. They've estimated how many spaces they'll be able to get. And I'm telling you all very openly, this is conceptual because there's a lot of numbers and a lot of math that has to be done to get it to the end, and the cooperations with the Corps, et cetera. The second location that is an option for parking, and part of the agreement that they have with the aquarium, that area over to the right is they're required to build an access gate to protect the employee parking. So that will be part of their agreement. The employee parking will be protected. And then we call this the triangle piece, and this is half owned by OAF and half owned by the city of Jenks. And that property has been set aside, and Planning Commission agreed that we can set that aside for future parking if needed. I personally think it's a beautiful little piece. It kind of breaks up the monotony of all the pavement. And so we've also looked at it in through the lens of future trolley stop, and that would be a great location because it gets you all the way across to the aquarium side. So lots of options, but that we do have a lease on that, and that would be held in place for future parking. There's another agreement that was approved by the JAA and OAF. In the plat, there are some private covenants that laid out how a project on this campus should look and some other details. So in order to deviate from that, I just put together that language and said, hey, can you sign off on this? Asking the OAF and the JAA. They've done it willingly, happily, and have signed off on that. We got our final signatures. And then you can see what that might look like. This is the what they're asking for on page 251. Thank you. So you can see the letters above the first floor, and then it's elevated a little bit higher. Gorgeous landscaping, some beautiful windows, and there'll be outdoor dining and indoor dining. This is going to be a huge, huge addition. It'll be beautiful, very classy. If you've ever been to Mother Road Market, that would be, and if you're not sure what they're building, it would be similar to that, but this will probably, in my opinion, be nicer by about 100 times. And then the last agreement before you this evening, and this does take a supermajority, it will go back to a special meeting of the JAA on September 30th, and this is the shared parking agreement that I was talking about between the City of Jenks and the Jenks Aquarium. So, will you go ahead and turn to page 258, Brandon, please? This shows you where the red is the OAF property and the City of Jenks is in the blue. So that's just that little triangular piece that required that lease agreement. So on page 261 starts the actual planned unit development. Again, I said I'm not going to go through a lot of this, but I want you all to let me know if you have any specific questions. And they're ready to go. We are ready to go. We're very excited about this project. Like I said, they have jumped through a lot of hoops and worked diligently with staff, and we're very happy to see this all teed up for a building permit.
All right, thank you, Marcy. Are there any questions from the council?
I don't have a question. I just think this is the best iteration of this I've seen. I'm super excited.
Yeah, we love it.
Do we have an applicant present on this, or we just?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would the applicant like to come forward and?
He's waited this long, he may as well talk.
Please, bring it across the finish line for us.
Robert Butler, 9907 South Urbana Avenue, Tulsa. I don't know that I have anything to add other than I really appreciate Marcy and everybody's willingness to get this through to the finish line. It's been a long 4 years, but we are here, and so I think we've got leases in place, and we'll submit our building permit here in a couple weeks, and so let you guys have any questions. We're excited and ready.
Thank you. We've got the JZ. We're going to take these as two separate motions, correct? Yeah. Yeah, because we're not doing number 9. Should we go ahead and open it for the comments for the JZ probably? Were there any questions from anyone in the public on the JZ portion of this particular item? Any questions from the public? All right, third time. Not hearing anyone. All right, we'll bring it back to council. What's your pleasure?
I just want to make a comment
Please.
and thank the applicant deeply for your patience. It's been a big trial. I also want to say on behalf of me personally, and I think this council would agree, thank you to the OAF. What they've done for in order to get this thing accomplished is we're very thankful. I think this is going to benefit everybody. The OAF, the aquarium, the city, the citizens. I think this is going to be a very well-received opportunity. So I just wanted to say that to you. Thank you.
And I'll echo that as well. Knowing I've got a trade association that I participate in monthly at Mother Road, so this is going to be a great addition, and the parking is going to be like 1,000 times better than Mother Road Market for anybody in Tulsa that would like to start coming down here for that. Can we get a motion? For each one.
I'll make a motion for the shared parking agreement, number 7, as written.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can we have a vote, please?
Short.
Yes.
Emmons.
Yes.
Abel.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes. Item number 8.
Make a motion to approve ordinance number 1672, item number 8, as presented.
Second.
We have a properly framed motion and second. Can we take a vote?
Short.
Yes.
Emmons.
Yes.
Abel.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes, and that's Ward 1. All right, striking number 9. And moving on to, thank you very much We're excited. Is it done yet? All right, moving on to item number 10, discussion regarding reintroduction of ordinance number 1671. I think all we were going to really do was identify that we're bringing it back. Is that correct? Would you like to present that?
All right, this is JZ 25 PUD 154, and this item was heard at the City Council meeting on August 19th, and there was a motion made to approve with some changes to the PUD. At that time, the motion failed, and there were no additional motions, which left it in lingo, or limbo, not lingo, or lingo, whatever. So the item itself was not, it was not approved or denied. Since that time, the applicant did reach out and say the following: we would like to be on the city council agenda for next Tuesday. We will do 3 lots for the pool, and that was one of the issues that council had mentioned, because they had agreed to do 3 and then they asked to do 2. And so 3 lots with a pool, playground, and amenities, and we remain at 2,400 square feet. However, we would like 20% set aside for 2,200 square foot 1-stories. And it is my understanding, and there is the applicant is present, Mr. Eric Enyart from Tanner, if you do have any questions, but they'll bring back a PUD that has some changes to it. This meeting tonight and this short conversation was really just to let the public know that it will be on the agenda.
Yep.
On September, I think I have the date, September
30th.
Mm-hmm.
Did any members of council have any questions, or we carry it to the 30th? No questions? All right. Thank you, Eric, for bringing this back. All right. Item 10 is completed. City manager's report.
Mayor and all members of council, sales and use tax collection, the sales tax check for the month of September was 30% higher than the same month the previous year. The use tax collected for the month of September was 8% lower than the same month the previous year, and the combined sales and use tax collections were 21% higher than the same month the previous year. And for the first quarter of the fiscal year, sales and use tax collections are 30% higher than last year. The Main Street Bridge, I'm sure everyone noticed, there is some preventative maintenance happening. That's an Oklahoma Department of Transportation project. The contractor so far has inspected the bridge abutments and started maintenance repairs on the superstructure and substructure. This week, the contractor installed traffic control devices. During the current phase, the southern lane will be closed and traffic will be shifted to the northern 3 lanes. On the Elm Street project, the pavement has been poured for the right turn lane at the northeast corner of 121st and Elm, and the base for the pedestrian trail on the east side of 121st and Elm is being prepared, and the paving the trail will begin this week. On Fire Station 1, the exterior masonry is approximately 95% complete and is scheduled to be completed this week. Permanent power to the building has been connected by PSO. The contractor is scheduled to begin painting the first floor spaces, the second floor wall tile, and complete grading of the parking lots next week. The building at 105 East Main will be demolished in the coming months. The owner of the property plans to demolish the existing building that formerly housed JDI Sprinkler. The property owner has no immediate plans for construction, but is working on a new building concept that will include restaurant and retail that will complement the existing structures and businesses on Main Street. CFO David Sims accepted a position with the University of Tulsa. His last day with the city was on Friday. We have 2 competent and capable deputy finance directors, Walter Giroux and Michael Sanchez, and they'll be filling in that CFO position while we search for a replacement. Upcoming events, we have the State of the City tomorrow at the Jenks Chamber Luncheon. A reminder that we have canceled the October 7 City Council and JPWA meeting and have rescheduled it for Tuesday, September 30th. We have the Jenks Chamber Golf Tournament October 7th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then the Chamber has announced their intercity visit, their inaugural intercity visit is going to be Sunday, November 16th through Tuesday, November 18th. That visit will be to Paducah, Kentucky. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Mr. Shrout. And in the event that Mr. Sims happens to be watching online because he misses us so much, congratulations on your new position with the University of Tulsa, and you know where you're at, where we're at if you get homesick.
And one more item was
Please.
the update on the Hive site. As you will recall, we looked at demolishing the building ourselves. We ended up selling it. Someone came and took the building apart, took the building off the premises. Right now, the only thing remaining is the slab and the concrete wall that is standing alone. The wall will come down. We have quotes on striping that property for a new parking lot, and the existing slab, portions of it will be graded down, and all that will be, at least temporarily, parking for the businesses on Main Street.
All right, thank you. That's a good report. Any members of council have any other business? All right, the time is 7:48, and the meeting stands adjourned. Does anyone need to take a break? We're pushing through. We will resume with the Jenks Public Works Authority meeting, 7:49, September 16th. Could we have a roll call, please?
Short.
Here.
Emmons.
Here.
OJ. Abel.
Here.
Murray. Chair Box. Vice Chair Brown.
Still here. All right, we have consent agenda before us. Item number 1. Are there any?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Can we take a vote?
Short.
Yes.
Emmons.
Yes.
Abel.
Yes.
Vice Chair Brown.
Yes. Item number 2 is not needed. General Manager's report.
Chair and members of the authority, your report is in your packet. If you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
Do you have it memorized? Sorry. Okay, at this time, we'll have a report from the chamber.
Good evening, Vice Mayor and Council. So the report in your packet is for the months of basically July and August, a little bit of September as well. First quarter for this contract. Just some highlights to report. Again, we have moved our offices to 161 South Riverfront Drive. That's Suite 112. That location has shown us already that it is very good for what we are doing with the chamber and tourism. In the last 6 weeks, I did pull some numbers off of Placer, and 26,000 people have actually visited that location, not just our location, not the chamber necessarily, but in that vicinity. I will be able to pull more exact location data as we work with Placer to get the chamber put into their address system. We will have our next monthly morning mingle at our location. That is on Thursday morning. So if you would like to come by and visit, we'd love to see you. We have had, or will have had, and will have 8 ribbon cuttings in August and September. And then we also have 13 more that are pending dates. So we are getting more and more ribbon cuttings every single day, which is very, very exciting. Part of that is we have brought in 20 new members in the last 2 months. That is huge numbers for us. It's really, really good. We're seeing definite growth, which is very exciting. Our Leadership Jenks class 38, kicked off last week with 13 members. Since we're doing an evening class this time, we will be attending a city council meeting because the dates don't quite line up with our regular scheduled nights. We'll probably be here a couple nights with some of our class, so be looking forward to that. As the manager mentioned, our intercity visit to Paducah, Kentucky will be November 16th through the 18th. We will be visiting with their tourism, economic development, and chamber, as well as learning more about the riverfront projects, which is their transient dock, Greenway Trail, and Riverwalk Pier, and visiting also with the inland waterways companies. August 28th was our Discover Jinx night with the drillers, and thank you all who were able to attend. It was a great night. There were more than 3,300 people in attendance that night. We did run commercials for Jinx and Discover Jinx through the night, and 1,000 drillers hats were given out. Our Jinx Trojaneers did a fantastic job singing the national anthem, and Vice Mayor Brown had the best first pitch. I think it was the furthest one, and it made it to the plate, so congratulations on that. Tomorrow is our State of the City lunch, and we have sold out with more than 120 guests in attendance. We have opened some overflow seating for program only, so there will not be lunch served with those tickets. There's only 16 available, and that was when I left the office at 5 o'clock, so it could be completely sold out at this point. But more than likely tomorrow morning it will be completely sold. Symphony and Suites will be October 3rd. Those sponsorships have all been sold out, as well as vendor spaces, so it's going to be a great night. That's from 7 to 9 p.m. in Commons Park. The Chamber Open is October 7th. We have sold out sponsorships for that, and only 5 teams remain. So if you would like to get on a team, please do so quickly. Our monthly luncheon in October will be Cody Mayo with the Oklahoma film industry. So that should be pretty exciting. I know that's kind of a hot topic right now, is the film industry and incentives that the state will be looking at hopefully this session or coming up next year. So Trick or Treat is October 31st. That will be at Riverwalk. Lights On, November 20th. Holiday Parade, November 22nd. And I'm really, really excited to talk about this one. The Discover Jinx Committee has been meeting. One of the things that we have been discussing is how that we can bring all of our local businesses together for promotion, and one of the areas that we're going to do that is during the holiday season. It's going to be Discover Jinx Hometown Holidays. We will offer a page on the Discover Jinx website where all of our vendors, businesses can promote their promotions. And we are also looking to bring in a holiday trolley for December 6th, the 13th, and the 20th. From 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and so we're working out the logistics on that, but we have reserved the trolley, so that's kind of an exciting thing. That way we can connect all of the different shopping areas in Jinx. Chamber social media has grown by more than 200 followers in the last month on both Facebook and Instagram, and LinkedIn more than 100 additional followers. Discover Jinx and Elevate Jinx are both growing followers as well, as we're starting to do more promotion on that. Our business visits are up. We have a full-time engagement manager who is really focusing on getting out, making sure she's meeting with the businesses, and I think that's, again, why you're seeing some of the growth in our members and the ribbon cuttings. We have a lunch and learn session coming in January with County Assessor John Wright, and then February we're going to be kicking off a new program called Knowledge at Noon. We have booked an incredible national speaker, and we will be announcing details very soon on that. I will give you a very small hint. He worked for the Kansas City Chiefs, has partnered with Kevin Durant, and has done leadership training with the Chicago Bears. So, of course, I'm very excited about that part. But we are excited to launch this new program, and again, we'll have details on that coming very soon. Business highlight, we have highlighted Pink Lily with Sherry Bonner. She celebrated 15 years in business in August, so congratulations again to her. Our next highlight will be actually with the Jinx Public Library. We'll be doing a small video member moment with her, with Carissa. The library just celebrated 50 years. So you have a budget in the packet that is from July 1 to August 31st, so just a very small section of time, but if you have any questions on that, I'm happy to answer it. And the last item I have is we have been working really, really hard with a lot of our community organizations and businesses to have one community chamber, our chamber community calendar. And that is events that are listed for the entire community. It's open to all businesses and organizations to add your events. And it can be searched by category, and additional categories can be added. So we could do one for restaurants, specials, maybe lunch specials. We could do bands, anything like that. So it's nice to have one place where everybody can go and see everything that's happening. And I'm happy to answer any questions. I know it's a lot.
Are there any
Okay.
questions?
2 questions.
Okay.
So in JAA, we talked about commingling Trick or Treat on the Riverwalk with Hallow Marine. Jokes were about a hayride back and forth, but since you have acquired a trolley for the holidays, would it be possible to do some sort of Riverwalk, Chamber, Aquarium transfer back and forth to commingle both community events, since they're right next to each other?
I'm not sure we could do it this year with the amount of time that we have, but it's definitely something we can look at. We do have a representative from the aquarium on Discover Jinx committee with us, and so we'll definitely bring that up. We'll be meeting Friday, so I'll put that on the agenda.
And I think for the calendar, it's important to note that it's the first time a unified calendar has been in effect in Jinx's history. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, anyone else have any new business? All right, hearing none, the time is 7:58, and we are adjourned. Thank you.